My roommate sold my underwear online, so I sold his dignity to our entire building. I used to think the weirdest thing about my roommate Mason was how he always microwaved milk and called it night soup. That was before I caught him doing something that turned my stomach inside out. See, we lived in this big old apartment building where laundry is shared and nothing ever works. So when a pair of my boxers went missing from the laundry room, I just blamed the usual laundry gnomes. But when it kept happening, boxer briefs, gym shorts, even my ratty but reliable SpongeBob pajama bottoms, I knew something was off. I didn't want to jump to conclusions, so I set a trap. One decoy pair of underwear, strategically placed, soaked in hot sauce, and hidden in my laundry basket like a Trojan fruit of the loom. A few days later, they vanished. 2 days after that, Mason came home walking like he'd just invented a new dance called the fire crotch shuffle. That would have been enough for most people to get suspicious, but I wanted proof. So I did what any normal person would do. I made a fake profile on the second creepiest site on the internet and started browsing listings. And boom, there it was. My underwear, my actual underwear. The description? Worn, athletic, with a hint of coffee and pine. Buddy, I use Axe and depression. That's not pine. Mason was selling my used clothes to freaks online for $40 a pair. I felt violated in a way I didn't even have vocabulary for. So naturally, I decided to destroy his life. He wanted to sell my dignity online. I was about to sell his offline. The plan started with a little branding. I used a burner account to become his best customer, requesting custom photos of Mason modeling the stolen goods. I told him I'd pay double if he used his own apartment's background to make it more authentic. What he didn't know was that I borrowed a neighbor's window to photograph every single shoot from the outside. I now had a lovely collection of photos featuring Mason posing seductively in my boxers, right in front of a very identifiable apartment number. Then came the drop. Every year, our apartment building does a weird little community event called Neighbor Night. People show off talents, bring snacks, play party games. It's dumb. But this year, I signed up to host a digital art showcase. I booked the rec room, set up a giant projector, and hyped it as a presentation about online identity and the cost of privacy. Very intellectual, very TED Talk vibes. The room was packed, including Mason. I began the slideshow innocently enough, vague slides about privacy and social media, but then I pivoted to a case study in online transactions involving personal clothing. And then I clicked to the next slide. Mason, in a mesh crop top, wearing my stolen SpongeBob pajama bottoms. I will never forget the way the room gasped. I swear someone dropped a muffin. Mason turned the color of wet ham and bolted out like he was trying to sprint into another dimension. But it was too late, because I had already printed QR codes linking to his online seller profile and taped them all over the building. The listing now had a new bio, selling shame by the ounce. He tried to deny it, said the pics were fake, called me a freak. But unfortunately for him, the buyer reviews on his profile were glowing and specific. Loved the scent, very authentic, came with a story. One of them even referenced our building by name. He was evicted within 2 weeks. Turns out, using your apartment for commercial fetish activity violates the lease. Who knew? He left in the middle of the night, hauling his duffel bag of regret and stolen polyester. Rumor has it he tried to start over in a different city, but someone recognized his face from a Reddit post that went viral. Not mine. I just posted the truth and let the internet decide. Spoiler alert, the internet has no mercy. He sold my underwear for profit. I sold his reputation for sport. And now every time someone microwaves milk in that building, they call it Mason's shame soup. He wanted to wear my skin metaphorically, so I made sure the whole building watched him crawl out of his own.